Hi, everybody. It's Heather Coleman, intuitive medium, spiritual guidance coach, energy worker, and yoga instructor. And today I am so excited to have you join me for a little bit on the five elements. So we're going to learn what are the five elements, how do we understand what they are, and how can we tell whether we're in balance or out of balance. So the five elements in terms of Eastern philosophy and yogic understanding is that we are all made up of five elements: earth, water, fire, air, and space. And we can understand these elements in many different ways. I want to give you just a little snapshot of each of them. So we'll start with the element of earth. Now, for those of you that are familiar with your chakras, the earth element is going to be associated with our root chakra at the base of our spine. In fact, our entire root system. It is known as the densest of the elements, and it's our skeletal system, our connection to planet Earth. Now, the element of earth is our center for being grounded, for feeling stable. So if our earth element is imbalanced, we should be feeling secure, stable. Some signs that our earth element may be out of balance would be anxiety, feeling insecure, worries about money, home, finances. Also, I thought I would show you all this picture, how each of the five elements is actually connected to one of our fingers. So the element of earth would be connected with our ring finger, Now, talking about the element of water, this would be associated with our sacral chakra, which is one main chakra up from our root chakra. Sacral chakra is associated with the color orange, and it's just below our belly button. Now, the element of water is also associated with our reproductive system or urinary system. So anything that really needs to flow and can potentially be out of flow. So some signs that your water element could be out of balance could be constipation or diarrhea, things like that, or heavy menstrual cycles, or out of scheduled menstrual cycles or irregular menstrual cycles. The water element is and I just took a sip of water actually. The water element is associated with our little finger. Now, what we are going to be doing in our next Learn video is going through a series of mudras for each of these elements. But just for today, just know that, again, earth, if you want to feel more grounded with your earth element, middle finger, little finger for your water element, and we'll go through the others. Our next element is going to be fire. And that is going to be associated, and I'm checking because I'm still learning these myself, our thumb. So one thing that stands out for me right away when we talk about this is that one of the mudras associated with our solar plexus is actually this one, which is a thumbs up position. The element of fire is associated with our solar plexus, just above the belly button, between belly button and chest. And so those of you that are familiar with your solar plexus chakra and all of those aspects, you'll already maybe be thinking in your mind, okay, ambition, confidence, drive, focus. So those indeed would be the things that are associated with our fire element being in balance. So some signs that your fire element could be out of balance would be a lack of focus, issues with self-esteem, questioning your path, your drive. Digestive system. Fire is associated with our digestive system. So if your digestive system is functioning well, then that's a sign that your fire element is in balance. Also, metabolism is associated with our fire element, which, if you think a little bit on this, fire in tarot is often thought of as creative energy. So think of your fire element as your creative power. Our fourth element is going to be air. Now, air is associated with movement, light, sensitivity, and also with our heart center. And actually, I happen to be wearing green today, which is also associated with our heart center, both my shirt and my necklace here. So some signs that our air element is healthy and in balance would be a feeling of connectedness, love, trust. A lot of these things overlap. Some signs that our air element could be off would be feeling alone, feeling disconnected, feeling anxious, abandoned, that sort of thing. Finally, and almost forgot, the digit is our pointer finger, which is associated with air. And then finally, our fifth element is going to be space or ether, also called akasha. I like to call this element, like if you think of outer space. So when I first started studying these elements, I was thinking to myself, what's the difference between space and air? And I found the easiest way for me and for a lot of the people I've coached, think about air as the air around us. Think about space as outer space, just to kind of keep the difference between those two elements straight. Pretty easy way to do it. Now, the element of space is going to be associated with our middle finger. Again, ether or akasha. So those of you that are familiar with the Akashic records, our space element could be seen as our connection to the Akashic, the deeper part of our soul and who we are, the beyond, right? The beyond the obvious five earthly senses. This element of space is associated with awareness, liberation, and freedom. And it could definitely be argued that we feel more liberated and free when we are able to return to who we truly are, which is a child of the divine. And there are so many ways to do that, but just for today, the takeaway point would be that that space element is that aspect of us that never forgets our connection to the other dimension, the spiritual realm, our creator, however you want to put that. Finally, our space element is associated with our throat chakra, which is our neck, front and back. So again, just to recap here, we'll go through those five elements. Now we've got earth, which is going to be our ring finger, associated with our root system, our sense of security, material security, our bones, skeletal system. We've got water associated with our pinky finger, which is associated with our sacral chakra. Any system of your body that has a lot of flow, such as your reproductive, your urinary system, actually the endocrine system, but that would overlap with our next element, which would be our fire, which is our thumb, our digestive system, metabolism, our solar plexus, so our ambition, confidence, and drive. Our air element is associated with our pointer finger, and we'd be talking about movement, light, sensitivity, and our heart center here. And then finally, our space element, also ether, akasha, that would be our awareness, our center for raising our consciousness, we could argue, and finally our throat center. So in our next Learn video next week, we are going to be doing some mudras, and just to show you quickly what that sort of thing could be. In fact, earlier, a few minutes ago, I showed you this one. This is one of the ones that we're going to be doing for the solar plexus chakra and also for that fire element. So I hope to see you in the next video. I hope this video has been helpful for you. If you want to learn more about something that came up in today's video, drop me a comment and we will make sure to address your questions in the near future. Thank you so much, everybody, and namaste.